What if the love of your life woke up and didn't remember you? Emily lost all memories of her 15 years with Mark after a devastating accident. Can their love survive the test of amnesia, or is it truly lost forever? Before we dive into their journey, make sure to hit the like button, share this video with someone who might need a dose of inspiration, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world, and it helps us create even more great content for you. So, let's begin. Mark and Emily had always believed their love was unbreakable. They had been together for 15 beautiful years, sharing laughter, dreams, and countless memories. From their first date to their wedding day and the many adventures that followed, they had built a life full of joy and connection. They were each other's everything, the kind of love that made the rest of the world seem secondary. But one day, in the blink of an eye, everything changed. A car accident left Emily in critical condition. She was rushed to the hospital, and Mark was beside himself with worry. The life they had built together, their shared memories, and the love they cherished all seemed to hang in the balance. When Emily finally woke up, she found herself in a hospital room surrounded by unfamiliar faces. The sterile smell of the room, the beeping of machines. Everything felt disorienting. But what hit her the hardest was the sight of Mark, standing beside her, looking at her with eyes full of love and concern. She stared at him, trying to make sense of his presence. But the more she tried, the more confused she became. Mark seemed like someone she should know, but his face was foreign. His voice was familiar, yet distant. He was holding her hand, speaking to her softly, but she couldn't remember why he was there, or why it felt like there was an emotional connection she should have recognized. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice trembling. The words struck Mark like a punch to the gut. The woman he had spent 15 years of his life with, the woman he had shared every moment, every laugh, and every tear, didn't recognize him. Emily had no memory of their life together. She couldn't recall their wedding day, their vows, or the special moments that had once filled their world with love. The woman she had been before the accident, her role as a wife, a partner, a friend, was now lost to the fog of amnesia. To Emily, Mark was a stranger. She had no connection to him, no emotional bond. And Mark, heartbroken and desperate, had no idea where to begin. How do you rekindle love when the memories that once held it together are gone? In the days that followed, Mark tried everything to remind Emily of their life together. He showed her photos of their travels, of birthdays, and anniversaries. He spoke of their wedding day, of the joy they had felt when they first met, of the moments that had defined their love. But nothing seemed to reach her. Each attempt to reconnect was met with confusion or indifference. Emily simply didn't remember any of it. The love they had built together, the foundation of their relationship, seemed to have vanished, leaving nothing but a void. For Mark, the pain was unbearable. He had spent every moment of his life loving Emily, sharing his heart with her. She was his world, his everything. But now, she was slipping away from him. The woman he had promised to spend forever with couldn't even remember who he was. The more he tried to reconnect with her, the more distant she seemed. It was as if their entire life together had never existed. Mark was left standing in the shadows of the woman he loved, trying desperately to reach her, but feeling as though every attempt was slipping further out of his grasp. But Mark wasn't ready to give up, not on the love they had once shared, and not on Emily. He couldn't walk away, not after everything they had built together. So, he made a decision. He would help Emily fall in love with him again. If she couldn't remember their past, then he would create new memories. He would show her that the love they had wasn't gone. It was still there, waiting to be rediscovered. Mark began with the small things, the simple moments that had once been so meaningful. He recreated their first date, He took Emily to the same quiet cafe where they had first met, hoping that the atmosphere, the memories of their early days, would trigger something inside her. He wanted her to feel what they had felt the first time they had fallen for each other. The magic, the joy, the excitement of something new. Then he started bringing out old photos from their travels, from family events, from moments that had meant so much to both of them. He would sit with Emily and tell her stories about their adventures, reminding her of the bond they had shared, of the laughter and love that had filled their years together. But Mark's plan wasn't just about rushing Emily's memory back. It was about showing her, slowly, that the love they had wasn't lost. Even though their past together was gone, their connection was still there, waiting to be rekindled. For Emily, every day felt like a journey through fog. She looked at Mark and felt a deep sense of longing, but also an overwhelming sense of doubt. Who was he? Why did he feel so familiar, yet so distant? Her emotions were a whirlwind, torn between the past she couldn't remember and the present that felt so uncertain. She found herself questioning everything. Could she trust the feelings she was starting to have for Mark? Could she really fall in love with him all over again, despite not remembering the life they had shared? It was as though she was two different people. The woman she had been, the one who had loved Mark deeply, felt like a stranger to her now. The woman she was now, unsure and confused, couldn't connect with the emotions she once had. Emily's heart was in turmoil, her mind trapped in a cycle of doubt. She wanted to believe in the love they had shared, but each time she tried to feel something, it was as if the emotions were just out of reach. For weeks, Mark poured his heart into every effort. He tried to show Emily the depth of his love, but it felt as though every attempt was slipping further away. There were no signs that her memories were coming back, no glimmers of recognition that would prove their love could survive. Then, one day, something unexpected happened. It started with a simple gesture. Mark, remembering a song they had once danced to at their wedding, decided to play it for Emily. The song had been a symbol of their love, a melody that had always brought them closer together. At first, Emily seemed indifferent, not even reacting to the familiar tune. But then something shifted. She stopped what she was doing, her gaze fixed on the song. Mark watched as she slowly closed her eyes, as if trying to place the melody in her mind. Then, without thinking, Mark reached out and gently touched her hand, just like he had done so many times before. It was a simple touch, but it lingered in the air between them, as if trying to connect the past with the present. Emily's eyes softened, and a faint spark of recognition flickered in them. It was brief, but it was enough. A small moment of shared laughter followed, small but significant, a reminder of the simpler times when their love had been constant and unwavering. Could this be the breakthrough Mark had been hoping for? Was their love awakening inside her once again? Determined to show Emily that their bond was unbreakable, Mark made a bold decision. He would plan a vow renewal ceremony, a chance to remind Emily of the promises they had made to each other. This wasn't just about repeating vows. It was about creating a new beginning. Mark wanted Emily to see how far their love had come, despite the pain and the lost memories. As the day of the ceremony approached, Mark felt a mix of hope and fear. This was their last chance. Would Emily be able to see the man she had once loved, standing before her, waiting for her to choose him once more? Would their love survive, despite the absence of shared memories? Mark stood at the altar, waiting for Emily's decision. His heart raced with every passing second, every moment of silence. He had never stopped loving her, but would it be enough? As the ceremony began, Emily looked at Mark and saw the man who had always been there for her, the man who had never given up on their love. And in that moment, she knew something was different. She wasn't sure how to explain it, but there was a warmth in her heart, a spark that had been missing for so long. Mark's love had never wavered, and now Emily was ready to choose him again. As we come to the end of Mark and Emily's journey, we're left with a powerful question. Can love survive when memories fade? Would you fight for someone who forgot you? In a world where memories are fragile, is love strong enough to rebuild itself from the ground up? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this emotional story. Share your reflections in the comments below. Do you think love can truly conquer the loss of memories? And if you've enjoyed this heartwarming tale, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Neuro Vista for more inspiring stories that touch the heart.